Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. This morning, we are talking Mercedes-Benz. Full analysis and review on Mercedes-Benz. We're going to be covering this so you can discover if this is the right stock for you. Look at the balance sheet, value, back test, latest news, AI analysis, and most importantly, value. Can we find value in Mercedes? Thereby, we can do a deal. We'll take a trip round the factory, look at how these cars are put together, and see if this is a stock that you can buy and own. Remember, I've always said it's all about owning the business, finding a business you can own. We know a Mercedes is a wonderful car. You might want to own one, drive one. But owning the business is very, very different. Can we make money from this company? Well, let's have a look. Let's take a deep dive at the analysis, the numbers in a difficult time of trade wars. It's a time to make money. The markets are oversold. We've seen blood on the streets. A crash has been in full flow recently. Inflation is coming down. Is it time to invest and buy in once again? We'll take a deep look at the numbers for Mercedes-Benz today. Welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you here. A beautiful car indeed. But is it a beautiful business? Let's take a look. In this review, we'll give you all the information like you've never seen before. We have a full back test against the S&P 500. We take a deep look at the dividends. How often do they pay out their dividends? What about a full AI analysis on the stock and the latest news around the stock as well? We'll even take a look at the website, and then we'll hear live from the CEO of the company. All that's coming up in my review. If you'd like to tap the like button and share this out, that would be wonderful. We go live 12 hours a day. If you are a member of our channel, you can request a review just like this with a super chat. You can get a review which not only will provide you the information that you're looking for and help you decide whether it's a good buy or not, but also it'll rank on YouTube and more people will discover your favorite stock. We'll also take a deep dive at the balance sheet. We'll look down here and see how it performs against its competitors. I will share with you my software so you too can have access to this for free trials, discounts, and all the rest of it. My members always have done and always will do, get the best deals. We're here to serve, we're here to help people. That's what this channel is all about. So, without further ado, let's get into our live, unedited analysis this morning. Welcome to all of you. It's 7:52 in the morning on a Thursday, the 24th of April. Welcome to my studio. As you can see, we are set up here in the factory at Mercedes to bring you this review. This is unedited, unscripted. As it happens, all the information is prepared in front of me. I read it, I edit, I make it as I go. This is real, and I will come to comments and questions as well in the chat for everyone. So, let's start from the beginning. Please tap the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We're live 12 hours a day. Now we're going to start off nice and simple, and then we're going to get more in depth as we go. We need to look at the broader markets too. I'm only in the S&P. This is my S&P 500. The reason why I'm owning the S&P is so you know that my views are real, genuine. There's no pumping and dumping here. I'm not here to promote anything. No one sponsors me, pays me to do these things. My members give me a super chat to do the review, but that's it. I do it for any one of my members that requests it. No one can buy my thoughts or ideas or give me sponsorship. I don't take any sponsorship other than my members to bring you these live events. So I'm 100% in the S&P and we're up today. I believe we bought the bottom. I actually timed the bottom perfectly by using tax lots on the way down. If you want to know how you can time the market, because you can, using tax lots, and then take the ones back you don't want, like taking a pair of jeans you paid too much for, take them back and swap them for the cheaper ones. There will be a video coming up at the end which explains how to always win. A simple video, always win. This is my 24th trade and my 24th win. I don't lose. And after I initially rebalanced my portfolio 14 months ago and stopped day trading, I'm now an investor. And that's been a very different journey. Okay, let's get straight into Mercedes-Benz. We're going to start nice and simple, and we're going to get further and further into it as we go. Welcome, welcome everyone. I will come to comments and questions later on in this live stream. So Mercedes-Benz, we'll look at the overall chart there, and what do you see? Well, you can see a trading stock up and down. Certainly isn't the S&P 500, is it? Up 20% over this maximum range here. Not good. Typical car company, really, like an airline. I don't like car companies. I don't like airlines. Tesla, however, is not a car company. Let's read more details, and let's start nice and simple as we go. So Mercedes-Benz engages in the business of manufacturing, distributing premium cars. It operates with the following segments: Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes Vans, Mercedes-Benz Mobility. The Mercedes-Benz Cars segment includes the brands Mercedes-AMG, Mercedes Maybach, Mercedes EQ. The Mercedes-Benz Vans segment focuses on selling vans under the Mercedes-Benz brand. The Mercedes-Benz Mobility segment is involved in supporting the sales of the vehicle brands. The company was founded by Gottlieb Daimler and Karl Benz in 1926 and headquartered in Stuttgart, Germany. Ich kann nicht sprechen Sie Deutsch, sehr gut, but I've been there and I know the people and the country and certain cities like Bremen and Wallstadt and the Black Forest very well. Wonderful country, very clean, very disciplined race of people. The Mercedes-Benz, just read that, I beg your pardon. The listed name is MBGYY. Now, there are a couple of different tickers on this, but essentially the same thing. It's just like Google with Class C and Class A, I think it is. There are several versions of it, but all the same business, all right? You can just decide which way you want to buy into it. CEO Ola Kalinus, I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Now, if you'd like Ola on the show, simply go to the investor relations page on their website, email them and say Martyn Lucas often ranks #1 for the stocks he covers, and he does a Meet the CEO series. You can tell them all about me, and once you get a relationship with them, tell them that you are an investor, and then invite them to be on the show, and we can set up a Meet the CEO series. We'd love to hear from Ola. All right. Okay. Now, I told you we'd start nice and simple this morning. No volume at all. We've just opened the market. Well, it's pre-market at the moment. Average volume, 583,000. Extremely low volume. This is a very low volume stock, and that can be a problem if you're a trader. Market cap 57 billions, 57.35, and 52-week low 12.55, 52-week high 20. PE ratio 5.46, price to earnings ratio 5.46. We'll look at that and see how good that is later. What about the dividend yield? Now, this is a stock that provides a dividend. However, how reliable is it? I will share that information with you. If you buy a dividend-paying stock, don't expect necessarily huge growth. It might go sideways and then they pay you profits in dividends. However, you don't get much growth. If you have a growth stock, typically you don't get a dividend. One or the other. It's not free money. You're not getting free money whichever way you go. If you get growth, you decide what to do with the profit. If it's a dividend stock, they decide what to do with the profit and give it to you in forms of dividends. You may not want a passive income. You may want a growth stock. There's reasons for and against. This is not that video. That's a whole other video, which I can make if anyone requests it. We've done it before. Search on my channel and you'll find it. But this provides a sideways action stock with a dividend. Not necessarily good. We'll discover that in a minute. How often do they pay it? Is it regular? Does it consistently increase? Is it a dividend king like Coca-Cola and Johnson & Johnson? They have growth plus always increasing dividends. Does it qualify? Well, we'll find out shortly. What else do we see here on this app here? This is Robinhood I'm using. If you want my Robinhood app, Robinhood USA, you want some free stocks, there is the link in the chat. If you are in the UK, there's Robinhood UK in the chat. And if you're watching this later, it'll be below the video. There's my X and Instagram for everybody watching live. And for everybody watching later, it'll be below in the description of the video. You can see customers of Mercedes also buy Ford. I think Ford's a waste of time, but that's just me. Volkswagen, Pfizer, that's solid. GM. What you are seeing here is blue chip, solid companies, solid investment companies, Coca-Cola, Verizon. You're not seeing Binky Bonk, Fart Coin and silly things like that. And you're not seeing Mullen. You're not seeing anything silly. These are all solid businesses of good pedigree. So it tells you who you're in bed with. And that's important. It will tell you how the stock trades. You can see the way it revolves. It's a stock that you can buy at a certain point if you can catch the trends. Sensei on Sunday, if you join Sensei on Sunday, my co-host, he will give you a chart for this if you are a member of our channel. If you'd like to be a member, when you're watching now, there's the membership link. If you're on an iOS device, select a browser and desktop version, become a member, and you too can have reviews like this done and everything else that you might require, and get a free technical chart from Sensei as a member as well. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. Very often tunes in during the week as well. Okay, so that's a basic look at Mercedes-Benz. Now let's move on to some more in-depth analysis. That was just a start. So first of all, we're going to take a quick look here at the website, how the website looks. Here we go. Well, we're all familiar with the Mercedes, grey, silver. Very classic, very Apple-esque, actually, very classy. We all know that Mercedes is regarded as a sort of a premium brand, premium prices, premium quality, and it's got that look to it. Very much looks Apple-esque. Nice and simple, nice and clean, black, white, grey, silver, lovely. Just worth showing you because I own businesses, not stocks. I don't care if stocks go up, down. I don't mind if I'm down at the moment. Currently, I am down overall on my portfolio. And that doesn't matter. I'm accumulating more stock. I'm in the business of buying more and more business, more and more stock, owning more. I don't care about the stock price. I own the business. I own the business that serves me. I'm not interested in what the current trading price is. That's of no consequence to me whatsoever. Now, you might like to vote in today's poll. This will rank on Google. Our videos often rank #1 in the world, and they rank on Google certainly as well as YouTube. This is our community page on YouTube. I'm giving everybody in the chat a link to vote. Please vote now. We'll see what you do, and anyone else can vote later. This is our poll to vote. Let me show you what the current position is right now on our poll. Let me show you. We opened it just at the beginning of the show. No one has had the chance to vote yet. So it says 0 votes, buy, hold, or sell, or undecided. I'm going to refresh this now. This is in live, real time. Are people liking to buy, hold, or sell this stock? You want to know that because it will give you a good idea whether you should buy it. Not in its entirety, of course, but it will help you in your decision making. Let's refresh the screen. This is being done in real time, and we have 49 votes. Now then, this is very interesting because now we can see how it changes throughout the show. It's pretty even. Buy is 20%, hold is 22%, sell is 27%, and undecided is 31%. Well, that's going to be easy to remember because as we can see from buy to hold to sell undecided, it's sloping up more people undecided. Let's see what happens at the end of the review. Maybe buy will take over undecided. I hope undecided goes away and you can be buy, sell or hold. That's what I'd like to see from me doing a review. But we shall see if that's how it pans out. Anyway, let's get further into the review and look at the numbers. Can you make money with Mercedes-Benz? We know it's a wonderful car, like we've already said, but can you make money from it? Certainly you'd own one, but that's not what this is all about. It's whether you can make money from this. They certainly have cutting-edge, state-of-the-art technology and the way they're building, but can we make a deal here? Can we make money on this stock and take our money upward? And then perhaps we can, maybe we can start to count our money. We would certainly like to see that. Anyway, let's get into the next part of our review. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a look at some latest news before we get into the deep dive AI analysis. We're going to look at some news around the stock. This was issued just yesterday. It's the very latest information I have. If you like my software, Seeking Alpha and Alpha Spread, I know the CEO of Alpha Spread, and Seeking Alpha, you get free trials and discounts. The link's in the chat. That's the software I'm using now, and you get the pro version at a sale price and a free trial. You might as well try it for free. So the Mercedes-Benz CEO, and we're going to hear from him in a moment live on the show. Mercedes-Benz CEO pushes for a balanced EU approach to China and EV tariff use. Of course, we do have an ongoing issue with tariffs at the moment between China and the United States, and it's creating trade wars around the world. We do need to come together and do a deal with China quicker than sooner the better, and that is posing issues for everyone, including Mercedes-Benz. Now, Mercedes CEO Ola on Wednesday, which was yesterday when I made this video, said that the company was urging the European Union to find an equitable solution to ensure a level playing field for Chinese manufactured electric vehicles entering the European market. A pure tariff barrier was the crudest instrument that could be applied, he told reporters on the sidelines of the Shanghai Auto Show, as per reports, and we'll have that interview in a moment. Last year, the EU imposed a tariff of 7.8% on electric vehicles made by Tesla in China, while BMW's China-produced EVs were slapped with a 20.7% tariff. Chinese EV manufacturers such as Geely or Geely, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, have received a tariff 18.8%, whereas the EU tariff to BYD is 17%, with SAIC having a levy on 35.3% on top of the EU standard car import duty of 10%. Now, you might notice that stands out to you is the point something. Now, that's important in the auto industry because people think when they buy a car for $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, there's huge amounts of profit in it and we can negotiate deals. Well, you can on used cars, but on new ones, dealers and manufacturers don't make much money. They make it on servicing. So right off the bat, I'm going to say it's not a buy from me because that's why I like Tesla and why I buy the S&P 500, which includes Tesla, because Tesla is a software company, not a car company. It's very, very difficult to make money with a car business. It's very, very difficult indeed, actually. So it's the same as. It's exactly the same as airlines. They are very, very difficult businesses to make money with as well. So it's a very difficult industry to get into. So it's not an investment opportunity for me. I'm just going to put a spoiler out there right at the beginning. Anyway, let me now show you what's really important. How does it compare to the S&P? This is what we like to call a back test. If you like this review so far, click tap the like button and consider subscribing. And we are making this live, so if you'd like to do a comment on the screen, go down in history and have your name on the video, then you can do a super chat and you can comment on the screen. So let's compare it. Now, I've put two side by side here, going back to 2016. That's as far back as we can go with the two companies. 2016. Now, the green line is the S&P and the blue line is Mercedes-Benz. And this is including reinvesting those dividends. We'll come on to the dividends in a moment. But reinvesting the dividends, you can see that the S&P, a growth stock, if you like, if it's a stock, it's the ETF really, but a growth position, has still outperformed despite receiving those wonderful dividends. That's a very good example, clear example of how it's not always a good idea for dividends. Certainly for young people, it's not. People who want a passive income later in life might switch to a dividend-paying stock, but to be honest with you, if you are active investor, you could borrow against your money and be much more strategic than just sitting waiting for free checks to arrive. There are far better ways of doing it, but it does attract a certain type of person. But when you're young and you're trying to make money from dividends, it's really a false hope. It's not a good idea, as demonstrated here by the S&P outperforming, including those high dividends reinvested. So if you put $10,000 in 2016 in Mercedes, you've now got $14,000. It's not really made any money, has it, over the period? Whereas in the S&P 500, you've 3x'd your money from 10,000 to 31. So it's a clear winner if we do a back test against the S&P 500. It's a no-brainer. That's our first test done. We are now fully aware that it hasn't made any money really in real terms. Like I said before, you might like the car, but is it a good investment? I would suggest not so far of what we've seen, but we'll carry on. Maybe I'll be proved wrong later. Let's look at the dividends. This is what people focus on. Well, it's got quite an unusual pattern here. 2006, we can go back far as, and you'll notice that it starts off by being an annual payout. 2006, 7, 8, 9, it skips a year, 11, it skips a year, 13, 14. So what are we seeing so far? It's not a dividend king. It's paying yearly. It switched from December to April. Yearly, it missed out a year. Okay, does it ever increase? 150, 150, 260. 85, 220, 225, 224, 325, 325, 365, 90, 135, 500, 520, 530, 430. So what we can see here is it's not a reliable dividend. So if you're buying it from a passive income, you don't know what your income is. So take that off the table as well. It's not a passive income the way you might want it to be. It's unreliable. I would suggest a growth stock will outperform like the S&P, for example. We've got misses, we've got increases, decreases. We've got no real structure here. So as far as a stock to buy for a passive dividend income, this is not that. So it fails on that test as well. Sorry, Mercedes-Benz, it's not going too well so far. But as I said, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm just giving you the truth, telling you how it is, and so on and so forth. Now, let me give you, let's listen to the CEO. Oh, before we do that, actually, let's go and see how our poll's coming along. Tap the like button, consider subscribing. Have you done that? If you do that, by the way, you know what happens if you tap the like button? You get a little treat. The little fellas love it when you tap the like button. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. All right, let's go back over now to our poll. This is where it was a few moments ago with 49 votes. You can see how it steps up. Buy, hold, sell, and undecided. 49 votes. Let's refresh this. This is happening live. 49 votes is now 53 votes, and buy has gone slightly ahead than hold. Undecided is 32. So basically what we've seen is a few more buys coming in. Not sure why you'd buy that, but that's what you feel. That's what you want to say. That's great. Let's go over now to our interview. I've got an interview lined up for you here. I think you'll enjoy this. Let's listen in to Mercedes-Benz directly. Here we go.
To Phil LeBeau now. He's joined by the Mercedes-Benz USA CEO. Phil, take it away.
Thank you, Scott.
Dimitri Salakis, thank you very much for joining us in Mercedes' new flagship dealership in Manhattan, and with the new CLA, which we're going to be talking about here in just a little bit. This is a big day for you guys as they take off the tarp here. We're going to talk about that in a bit, but let me ask you first of all what you're noticing in terms of demand, given the tariffs that are in place now, and what you're going to be doing about pricing.
So it's true that in the last 3-4 weeks our life has changed. So tariff discussion went in. It's a very heated discussion, and we see a higher demand for vehicles and more traffic in our stores. What we did as a brand, being consistent with our customers, being supportive and creating transparency for dealers and for customers, we said that for all vehicles which are model year 25, we'll hold the MSRP on the price on the level which is today. That has brought a lot of, I would say, safety.
Even those that are being imported in the next coming weeks or months.
Correct. That's what we'll do. So that has drawn some traffic into stores, and dealers are taking advantage of.
You were not in charge of your manufacturing plant in Alabama, but you're all part of the same Mercedes family. Are you able to increase production and to supply more vehicles here in the United States as opposed to importing them from Germany?
Production is not something that could change from a day to the other. There is a long supply chain linked to production. So yes, we can probably give these hints, but you cannot expect that vehicles will produce in a bigger quantity. So basically, we administer the vehicles which you have in the market, the vehicles which are coming out of production, and we try to accommodate demands in the best way.
Let me ask you about the CLA, because this is your new electric vehicle, also comes as a hybrid coming later this year. You're building this in Germany, right, and you're going to import it here to the United States.
Right.
Given that it's electric, given that it'll be an import, does that dampen what you expect sales to be?
It's too early to say so, because this vehicle that I have behind me will come in the market in the last quarter of the year. And as you said, the hybrid version of it, that's purely electric, the hybrid version will come next year in the middle of the year. So there's still time to see how conditions will be in the market at that time. At the moment, it's the smartest car of Mercedes, and we expect to have a high demand.
Given what you've seen, you've been the CEO now for 5 years before you transition out of this role. From the chip crisis to COVID, the pandemic, now to what's happening with tariffs, what does this market remind you of right now?
I would say business life is not boring. Let me start with this one, right? I would say it's a high volatility, but always we try to adjust and try to find the solutions and try to keep the market and mostly our customers as happy as possible, satisfied, and there's always one or the other way of getting things sorted out. Resilience is what we have, right? And that's what we have to do.
And that's being
the
tested.
time.
Dimitri Salakis, the outgoing CEO of Mercedes-Benz USA at their new flagship dealership, which is pretty spectacular here.
There we go. There is hearing from the US CEO. Okay, so no doubt about it, beautiful car, not necessarily a beautiful business to own. So I've given you so far the back test and the dividend. Doesn't make any sense from an investment standpoint. Let me now look at our AI software. I've ran through my program. The latest analysis on this stock just been done. If you'd like to get my software, Alpha Spread and Seeking Alpha, it's in the chat right now. It'll be below the video when this comes out. But here is my analysis on this position. Let's have a look. So this is what I've just prepared for you. It's got a forward PE of 6.75. Sounds good value, right? Well, let's go in deeper. I'm going to just freeze that on the screen. If you want to read the description of Mercedes-Benz again, you can pause it there and read that. I'm not going to read that through again. I have just covered that, but this is put in a slightly different way. You might not want to read that, and for your value of time, I won't read that again. Let's see who their competitors are and their unique value. Now, Mercedes-Benz competes with several major automotive manufacturers in the global market. Key competitors include BMW. It's one of my favorite cars, by the way. I used to own the 5 Series and the Z3 3-litre Sport, the same as James Bond owned in GoldenEye. The same car. BMW AG and Volkswagen AG. Tesla is a publicly traded company, but the specific link is not provided in this document. I wouldn't compare them at all. Tesla is a software company, not a car company like BMW, Volkswagen, and Mercedes. Very, very different. Anyway, Mercedes-Benz unique value proposition lies in its strong brand legacy. Indeed, it's a name, it's a brand, it's an image. And it no doubt is a good car. It is a good car. I've driven Mercedes before, but I don't think I'd own the business at where I am in the analysis so far. Renowned engineering excellence, undoubtedly. A commitment to innovation and luxury, agreed. The company is strategically focused on expanding its electric vehicle offerings and leveraging its rich heritage to maintain its iconic status. The brand's engineering prowess allows it to turn challenging specifications into production realities, while its cult-like brand loyalty provides a competitive edge. Moreover, Mercedes-Benz aims to balance its heritage with aggressive innovation, focusing on luxury, sustainability, and electrification, setting it apart in the competitive automotive market. Now then, these are the numbers that we give it. Valuation, A+. It appears to be a stock undervalued. We'll look at it in a deep dive in a minute when I show you the balance sheet. So if you just tuned into our live event, we're doing a review. And if you're watching this later on, we're doing a review on Mercedes. We're looking at the balance sheet, the value, the back test, the news, AI analysis, and value. That's what this is all about, whether you can own a Mercedes, the car itself, or whether you can own the business. We certainly like the way they're put together, cutting edge technology, but can we do a deal here to own the business? Does it make sense to you from an investment standpoint? Well, let's carry on with our analysis. Valuation is attractive at its PE of 5, clearly undercuts the sector's 13, indicating a cheaper stock. Furthermore, its price-to-book ratio of 0.57 is significantly below the sector median of 2, suggesting an undervalued position. However, our high dividend yield of 10% compared to its sector's 3% underscores income potential. However, I've shown you how it compares to the S&P. It doesn't stack up. Maybe you believe it can grow from here and take more market share. Growth. The growth outlook is concerning. There's my issue. Revenue growth year over year shows a decline of 4%, contrasting with sector increases of 2%. I don't think it will compete with Tesla. Additionally, EPS growth forward at 4% lags behind the sector's 6%, highlighting growth challenges. Wait until all cars drive themselves. You won't get that with Mercedes. I think it's a big issue for companies going forward. I think Tesla's going to just take over the world. I really do. Profitability for Mercedes demonstrates strong profitability. A net income margin of 7% notably exceeds the sector's 4%. Again, nowhere near Tesla's margins. However, quite good for the car industry. Indicating efficient and profit conversion. Additionally, cash from operations is robust, standing at 18 million compared to the sector's average. You see, it's a premium brand. They can charge more for it. They can make money on the name. How long will the name last? I don't know. Momentum. The stock's momentum is mixed over the past 3 months. The stock has seen positive performance of 1%. Outperforming the sector's decline of 19%. However, the one-year performance showed a decrease of 28%, suggesting some investor uncertainty. Revisions. Earnings revisions present a cautious outlook. There has been 1 downward EPS revision and 3 upward revenue revisions over the past 3 months, but a concerning 12 downward revenue revisions indicate potential headwinds. There's no doubt about it. There are some headwinds here. This could be a stock to take a tumble, even though it seems to be undervalued. I would suggest that we have to really, really consider before we buy. So far, this is not a stock for me. Let's do our final part of our analysis and look at the numbers in a visual experience. You might like to see it like this. Okay, let me share with you on the screen. So If we look at the financials, now this is my other software I use. This is Alpha Spread. I know the CEO. Both links are in the chat right now. Alpha Spread and Seeking Alpha. All my members get this so cheap. They basically get my membership for free. We have our own page on this website. I know the CEO, and I strongly recommend Alpha Spread. It's going to be basically free if you are a member. It will cover your membership cost. Absolutely amazing. Oh, we've got a live comment here in the show. Let's have a look at what it says.
God donated $2 through a super chat. Do you believe cars hold their value as products?
No, I don't. I don't think cars are a good investment. Cars should be bought for a use. You buy a car to use, to provide you with a way to earn more money. You never lease a car. You never, I call leasing fleecing. You're just paying for the depreciation at the garage until you take it back and they make profit from it. You buy a car to use, and if it can generate you income, you own it. I don't even own a car. I work from home and I don't have a car sitting in the garage. I would rather walk, ride a bike, or Uber. I don't see the need of owning a car if I'm not going to make money from owning it. I see cars as liabilities, not as assets. So let's look at revenue, and thank you very much for that super chat in our review. That's very kind. If that will also promote the video. If we make money from the video, YouTube are more likely to share it out. So thank you for that, GoDB. Appreciate it. Revenue up 1%. Operating income up 1%. Net income up 3%. We saw a dip here in 2023. Free cash flow is down 17% from the last report. Operating cash flow down 9% from the last report. EPS is up 3% and expected to go sideways. Let's have a look at the balance sheet. Now, we talked about this at the top of the show. Important, the balance sheet. Balance sheets tell you the health of the business. You have to pay attention to this. I'd like to ask you once again if you could tap the like button if you are enjoying this and click subscribe or ring the bell, and it will help promote our live stream and ultimately a video later. So the balance sheet, what's important is the cash and the debt on the balance sheet. So we've got cash at 25 billion. 25 billion in cash. So that makes up 9%. About right. I don't like a business that's all cash. There are businesses you can buy that just piles of cash. Well, they're not businesses, they're piles of cash, and you're paying someone the privilege of owning their cash. You might as well own your own cash and make your own money on it. We don't want that. We want assets to be working, not just piles of cash. All right, so 25 billion is in cash, good balance. Liabilities, 171. So liabilities are a bit high for their assets. Long-term debt, 59 billion. Short-term debt, 4 billion. So over 64 billion in debt, and we've got 25 billion in cash. We can't pay our debts off. It's not a great balance sheet. They're paying a lot for interest. Interest is going to remain high for longer. We are going to get 2 rate cuts this year, but that's a major issue for them. A major issue. Efficiency of the business. We talked about the margin earlier. They've got a decent margin for a car company. That's why it's showing green. FCF margin. They've got a reasonable, margin. As you can see here, operating margin and gross margins are very different, though. We just want to point that out. Gross margin before expenses, operating margin 10 at 12 down to 10, and then FCF margin. So these are good margins compared to their competitors, but compared to Tesla, I could even do that for you. Should I do that? Should I just do that live? Just give you an idea. So look at that then. 23, 12, 10. 23, 12, 10. If I do Tesla, TSLA, 23, what's it? 23, 5, 10. Can't remember now. I'm doing this live, of course. Gross margin. There we go. 17, 7, 6. Well, what we're seeing right now is we've seen Tesla's margins slashed. They were up to here, 15, 16, 25. So you can see recently, because of the way things are with tariffs and the way things are with lack of sales and all the rest of it, Tesla has been slashed from what it was. So actually, I will take that back. Gross, these numbers are actually very nice for Mercedes. They've not been affected by the negative reaction and lack of interest and support for Tesla, but that will come back though. But as you can see, Tesla was a lot higher and it dropped off, but these have held up. So I'm doing this live, so I will say absolutely that's good. ROE 18%, 6% ROA. In my defense, by the way, I haven't done a full analysis on Tesla for months, so I haven't looked at those for months, but that's worse than I thought. No wonder their earnings wasn't very good. Anyway, 11% ROCE. Okay. Now there we go. That's what I was talking about. The profitability, 52%. Not great, not bad, somewhere in the middle, but look at the balance sheet. Solvency, 48%. It's not going to go bust, obviously, but it's a legacy car company. It's not going anywhere, but it's not great. It's not a good balance sheet. It's not Nvidia, it's not Apple, it's not Microsoft, not Google. Not going to be, of course. It's not a software company, but nevertheless, it's not a good balance sheet. They've got a lot of debt. I don't like that. So Wall Street are saying, worst case scenario, 53% downside. Not a buy for me. Thank you, Ramsey, by the way, for writing the numbers in the chat. I just realized someone wrote down in the chat, so I would remember. How nice was that? How supportive and helpful was that? I realized the bell's about to go. I'm making a live video for you. So we'll actually cover the opening bell as I'm making this video. Thank you very much for my Lucas aides letting me know. We've got 30 seconds to go. That's absolutely fantastic. 693, 88% on average upside and 352 upside. So Wall Street quite like this as a potential going forward. So there we go. There's my review for Mercedes-Benz. We're now going to switch into 20 seconds before the bell goes. Another green day for me. I'm outperforming the market nearly consistently at the moment because I'm heavily in margin, because I'm investing for the future, and I believe I bought the bottom. In 3, 2, 1. It's a live bell. Okay, as I made this live video analysis, you'll look back on that and go, that was the moment the market went. As you can see, there it is, and we'll go back to our review and we'll wrap this review up. And as you can see, Mercedes is opening up today, 2%. Nice little bounce there. Has that got anything to do with me? Of course not. But I will tell you one thing. We do rank at number one for most of our stocks, and I'm sure that this stock will get a lot of attention by those at the company and those who invest in it in the next 24, 36, 48 hours. So there is my review on Mercedes. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not a buy for me. I would rather buy Tesla, even though Tesla is being punished right now. I would buy a car because I like these cars, but I wouldn't buy the business. So it's not one for me. Please tap the like button. Consider subscribing. If you'd like all the links, if you're watching live, there's X, Instagram, membership link, Alpha Spread, Seeking Alpha. Everybody else, you'll be able to get the links below. Now, if you are a member of my channel and you'd like a full review like this, full production movie style video like this on your stock and the promise of it ranking very highly on YouTube and Google, if you become a member of my channel, I will set up a review just like this. And I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure bringing you this. I hope for one thing, I hope the stock will go to the moon and make you a ton of money. I'd love to see everybody be successful and make some money. Wouldn't that be wonderful? But there we go. That's my review this morning on Mercedes-Benz. I can't give it a buy. I'm afraid it doesn't stack up on a back test. It doesn't stack up on the balance sheet. It doesn't stack up on the dividends. It's just not worth the risk. I'd buy the car, but I wouldn't buy the business. So I'm going to end this live stream now, take you over to my extra channel. If you're watching me live, if you're watching this later on, I'm going to give you the links to my next event. I'll be back very shortly. And boy, have I got one for you today. Is the dollar over? And should you be buying gold? That is my next live, unedited review. And in that one, I'll also be talking to my audience live in the chat. So join me now on Extra. The link is in the chat. It'll automatically take you there if you're watching it live. Talk to me live in Extra. For a few minutes, I will set up my next event, which is going to be dollar is over. And should you be buying gold, I'll be back very shortly with that live event, live discussion with my members. So click above my head for all the links that I've been talking about. Down below the description, pinned also in the comments, you can find everything. And what I'll put over here to the right hand side, over here, I'll put my full review playlist. I've reviewed nearly 300 businesses. You can go and check them all out. As I post a new one like this, it will go to the top and you can review all the businesses I have done. Over 300 now, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Could be 298 or 310. About 300. Down here, I will create a playlist especially for Mercedes. So if anyone wants me to cover the earnings or more news comes out, I will certainly cover that for you. Join me now on Extra. I'll be back with my next live event very shortly, discussing gold and should you be buying the dollar. It's going to be epic. It's going to be really exciting. I've got personal first-hand experience to share with you on that very subject. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.